Okay, so back to reading Sound of Thunder. And where we left off yesterday, Travis, the Safari Guide, was starting to explain to Eccles why it's so important that he stay on the path. So I'm pretty sure we read this already, but I'm just going to start again right here just so we're clear. We don't want to change the future. We don't belong here in the past. The government doesn't like us here. We have to pay big graft to keep our franchise. Time machine is a finicky business. Not knowing it, we might kill an important animal, a small bird, a roach, a flower even, thus destroying an important link in a growing species. It's not clear, said Eccles. All right, Travis continued. Say we accidentally kill one mouse here. That means all future families of this one particular mouse are destroyed, right? Right. And all the families of the families of the families of that one mouse, with a stamp of your foot, you annihilate first one, and a dozen, and 1,000, a million, a billion possible mice. So they're dead, said Eccles. So what? So what? Travis snorted quietly. Well, what about the foxes that'll need those mice to survive? For one of 10 mice, a fox dies. For one of 10 foxes, a lion starves. For one of a lion, all manner of insects, vultures, infinite billions of life forms are thrown into chaos and destruction. Eventually, it all boils down to this. 59 million years later, a caveman, one of a dozen on the entire world, goes hunting wild boar or saber-toothed tiger for food. But you, friend, have stepped on all the tigers in that region by stepping on one single mouse. So the caveman starves. And the caveman, please note, is not just any expendable man. No, he's an entire future nation. From his loins would have sprung 10 sons, from their loins 100 sons, and thus onward to civilization. Destroy this one man, and you destroy a race, a people, an entire history of life. It's comparable to slaying some of Adam's grandchildren. The stomp of your foot on one mouse could start an earthquake, the effects of which could shake our earth and destinies down through time to their very foundations. With the death of that one caveman, a billion others yet unborn are throttled in the womb. Perhaps Rome never rises on its 7 hills. Perhaps Europe is forever a dark forest, and only Asia waxes healthy and teeming. Step on a mouse and you crush the pyramids. Step on a mouse and you leave your print like a Grand Canyon across eternity. Queen Elizabeth might never be born. Washington might not cross the Delaware. There might never be a United States at all. So be careful. Stay on the path. Never step off. So this is the importance here. He's saying your tiny action here, because we're so far back in time, could have a huge impact on the future, theoretically. Um, whether you buy into this or not, I don't know. But the idea is, you step on a mouse that could kill billions of people later on. Billions of people will never have existed because you stepped on this mouse. I see, said Eccles. Then it wouldn't pay for us even to touch the grass. Correct. Crushing certain plants could add up infinitesimally. A little error here would multiply in 60 million years, all out of proportion. Of course, maybe our theory is wrong. Maybe time can't be changed by us. Or maybe it can be changed, only in little subtle ways. A dead mouse here makes an insect imbalance there, a population disproportion later, a bad harvest further on, a depression, mass starvation, and finally, a change in social temperament in far-flung countries. Something much more subtle like that. Perhaps only a soft breath, a whisper, a hair, pollen on the air, such a slight change that unless you look close, you wouldn't see it. Who knows? Who can really say he knows? We don't know. We're guessing. But until we know for certain whether our messing around in time can make a big roar or a little rustle in history, we're being careful. This machine, this path, your clothes and bodies were sterilized, as you know, before the journey. We wear these oxygen helmets so we can't introduce our bacteria into an ancient atmosphere. How do we know which animals to shoot? They're marked with red paint, said Travis. Today, before our journey, we sent Lesperance here back with the machine. He came to this particular era and followed certain animals. Studying them? Right, said Lesperance. I tracked them through their entire existence, noting which of them lives longest. Very few. How many times they mate? Not often. Life's short. When I find one that's going to die, when I find one that's going to die when a tree falls on him, or one that drowns in a tar pit, I know the exact hour, minute, and second. I shoot a paint bomb. It leaves a red patch on its side. We can't miss it. Then I correlate our arrival in the past so that we meet the monster not more than 2 minutes before he would have died anyway. This way, we only kill animals with no future, that are never going to mate again. See how careful we are? But if you came back this morning in time, said Eccles angrily, you must have bumped into us, our safari. How did it turn out? Was it successful? Did all of us get through alive? Travis and Lesperance gave each other a look. That'd be a paradox, said the latter. So, paradox essentially is like two things that can't work together. It wouldn't make sense. Uh, Time doesn't permit that sort of mess, a man meeting himself. When such occasions threaten, time steps aside, like an airplane hitting an air pocket. You felt the machine jump just before we stopped. That was us passing ourselves on the way back to the future. We saw nothing. There's no way of telling if this expedition was a success, if we got our monster, or whether all of us, meaning you, Mr. Eccles, got out alive. Eccles smiled palely. Cut that, said Travis sharply. Everyone on his feet. They were ready to leave the machine. The jungle was high, and the jungle was broad, and the jungle was the entire world forever and forever. Sounds like music and sounds like flying tents filled the sky. And those were pterodactyls soaring with cavernous gray wings, gigantic bats of delirium and night fever. Eccles balanced on the narrow path, aimed his rifle playfully. Stop that, said Travis. Don't even aim for fun. Blast you. If your gun should go off. Eccles flushed. Where's our Tyrannosaurus? Lesperance checked his wristwatch. Up ahead. We'll bisect his trail in 60 seconds. Look for the red paint. Don't shoot till we give the word. Stay on the path. Stay on the path. They moved forward in the wind of morning. Strange, murmured Eccles. Up ahead, 60 million years. Election day is over. Keith made president. Everyone's celebrating. And here we are, a million years lost, and they don't exist. The things we were worried about for months, a lifetime, not even born or thought of yet. Safety catches off, everyone, ordered Travis. You first shot, Eccles. Second, Billings. Third, Kramer. I've hunted tiger, wild boar, buffalo, elephant, but now this is it, said Eccles. I'm shaking like a kid. Ah, said Travis. Everyone stopped. Travis raised his hand. Ahead, he whispered, in the mist. There he is. There's his royal majesty now. The jungle was wide and full of twitterings, rustling murmurs, and sighs. Suddenly it all ceased, as if someone had shut a door. Silence. A sound of thunder. Out of the mist, 100 yards away, came Tyrannosaurus Rex. It, whispered Eccles, it. Shh. And we're going to pause there for today. So make sure you do the quiz right after this.